Beer here back in the Fantasy Bar, 6 plays for you for Friday night in the NBA, and it's Friday. Let's do a little happy hour. That's right. Nobody over 9K here in the 6-pack on FanDuel or DraftKings. Couple of my favorite mid-range plays. What game do we want to stack up? And of course, my favorite play of the night. Who is it? Belly up to the Fantasy Bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. Friday edition Beers Daily Fantasy 6-pack. Switching gears, talking some NBA with 6 of my favorite plays on this 9-game Friday night slate. Thank you, as always, for stopping by and checking out the video. Now, before we get into the plays for today, a couple things. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button on YouTube. Greatly appreciate that, guys. That's the tip jar here in the Fantasy Bar. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel, get notifications when these videos are coming out, doing football and basketball right now. And if you're into sports betting, long time, rookie, whatever it may be, head over to scoresandodds.com/beer. Tons of information over there, trends, analytics, all the major sports are covered. You can cover all the odds across all the different sports books, find your best price, and premium picks have been crushing it in all the major sports from all of your favorite RotoGrinders personalities. I'll be giving you some of my favorite football picks each and every Sunday, but check it out, guys. Tons of great basketball props, lines, spreads, totals. These guys have been killing it. Go and check it out today. Link in the description, scoresandodds.com/beer. All right, let's talk some NBA hoops again. We're going to go happy hour here. What's a better place to be than a happy hour on a Friday? So let's dig in a little bit on the higher end of our happy hour cap. We're going to go to point guard with Malcolm Brogdon of the Pacers. Now, this guy has been playing fantastic basketball. You're talking cash games. You're getting a very, very safe floor with Malcolm Brogdon. In fact, 38 or more DraftKings points now in 8 of the last 10, but we're also getting that GPP ceiling that we're after. This guy definitely has upside to be well into the 50s on any given night here. And against Charlotte and LaMelo Ball, I think he can certainly accomplish that. Charlotte, bottom half of the league in fantasy production allowed to this position. We go all the way back to opening night was the last matchup between these two teams, and Brogdon showed you exactly that ceiling, 54 DraftKings points in that game. I think he can threaten that here once again tonight. So I love the spot for Malcolm Brogdon. Pay those prices on both FanDuel and DraftKings. All right, let's get to the mid-range here with some value at point guard, shooting guard, CADE Cunningham of Detroit. Now, the number one pick really starting to play like the number one pick here over the last couple games. 46 DraftKings points per game over these last 2. And why? Gotten a lot more aggressive on the offensive end of the floor. Was a little timid, not hitting a ton of shots early on, then not taking a ton of shots. Well, now starting to do both here. 38 shots over the last 2, and we know his overall game. He's going to contribute across the entire stat sheet. Going to have the ball in his hands a ton. Going to get you those rebounds and assists we're looking for that are so valuable over on FanDuel. And Golden State coming to town. We'll see if Steph Curry in that lineup or not. But regardless, the Pistons really going to need CADE Cunningham here at his best. His offense, they're going to need everything he can muster up here against this powerful Golden State team. And I think we get that here. Prices still too low, in my opinion. Buy low on CADE Cunningham. All right, let's stay in the mid-range with our next play. We'll go to shooting guard, small forward with Gary Trent Jr. of Toronto. Now, another guy that just continues to play well, and his salaries have not adjusted. FanDuel, he's getting up where he probably should be, but $6K on DraftKings, just simply too cheap. We're talking a 7X or more return in 3 of the last 4 games. So the simple math says he's too cheap. Take advantage on DraftKings. I don't hate him on FanDuel at 7K either. Another guy that's been ultra consistent. So if you're talking cash games, guys, you want that floor, Gary Trent checks that box. 32 or more DraftKings points now in 7 of the last 9 games. Again, the upside is there as well, and the upside in this matchup is certainly there. Nobody been worse against shooting guards this season than the Sacramento Kings. Gary Trent Jr. in a good spot here and just simply too cheap, especially on DraftKings at just $6,000. All right, let's stay at shooting guard, small forward. Another guy in the mid-range I think is in a great spot tonight. That's Tim Hardaway Jr. of Dallas. And Hardaway, my favorite value on this slate here in the mid-range, really gets a big bump without Luka. We know he's doubtful for tonight. Maxi Kleber also not going to play tonight. Guess who gets the biggest bump? That's right, it's Tim Hardaway at 6.7% usage. You can find all these numbers in our Court IQ tool here in our RotoGrinders premium suite of NBA tools. It's also going to show you fantasy points per minute in these scenarios. Tim Hardaway, 1.17 fantasy points per minute with those 2 guys off the floor. So solid numbers here for a guy under 6K on both sites. Recent form been there as well. 29 or more DK points now in 7 of the last 9. In fact, he's gone for 34 or more in 3 of those games. So Hardaway playing well, going to take advantage of this opportunity without Luka, take advantage of these prices on both FanDuel and DraftKings. All right, let's go to the other side of that game, get you a little correlation here with Phoenix. We're going to roll with center DeAndre Ayton. Now again, prices, simply to play here. Too cheap on DraftKings and FanDuel, under 8K. Certainly a price that fits in our budget and a price that'll not be prohibited to building a pretty solid lineup. So let's take advantage here. 5 straight double-doubles for Ayton now. And I know these were spread across about a month. He dealt with that injury, was out for a while, but came back 2 straight double-doubles since the injury. And over that last 5, averaging almost 42 DraftKings points a game. These two teams just played the other night. Ayton 19 and 13, and Dallas been atrocious against centers. You think about that team, they just don't have anybody that can defend a guy like DeAndre Ayton or hit the boards with him. I think a big double-double in play here once again against Dallas. Loving me some DeAndre Ayton, especially at these cheap prices. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play in the NBA. But before we do that, we want to continue our Beast of the Night contest. Free to play, simple to play. All you got to do, get in the comment section right below the video and guess fantasy points on FanDuel for my favorite play of the night. The closest guess is going to win themselves a free week of RotoGrinders Premium, the chance to check out Chord IQ, which we're always talking about, Lineup HQ to help you build some easy lineups, and all the other premium tools. Also, while you're down there in the comment section, let me know who your favorite play of the night is. Who's your beast of the night? Let's talk some NBA hoops in that comment section. Without further ado, let's wrap this baby up in our happy hour 6-pack on Friday with my favorite play of the night. You know him as the Beast of the Night. All right, this time we saved you. We spent a lot in the mid-range so we could spend up to our cap here in happy hour all the way to the top shelf with our 9K limit. We're going with KRISTAPS PORZINGIS of Dallas, tonight's Beast of the Night. So building you a little mini stack here of this Dallas-Phoenix game, but very, very intrigued with this game. A lot of pieces here that I want, and we talked about Hardaway without Luka. Well, Porzingis been a monster here as well, as it says in the graphic, literally a beast without Luka. Almost a 32% usage rate, almost 1.5 fantasy points per minute so far this season. So Porzingis has really taken the reins here as the leader of the squad. When Luka goes out, we know that's a ton of usage, ton of shots, and Porzingis has certainly stepped in and done the job here for Dallas. The production been phenomenal, averaging over 48 DraftKings points a game over the last 4. So you do the simple math here, we're talking about almost an easy 6x upside for more here. Went for 48 DraftKings points against Phoenix the other night, but there's upside for more. Only shot 35% in that game. So we get a little bit better shooting. We're talking 50, potential of 60 DraftKings points. We're going to go big. I think he hits 60 here tonight in this matchup. KRISTAPS PORZINGIS, easily my favorite play on the board in tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that'll wrap us up for our happy hour segment here on Friday night, talking NBA hoops. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel. And don't forget fantasy points for Porzingis for your shot at some free RotoGrinders Premium. Also, guys, again, scoresandodds.com/beer. Tons of NBA props and picks for you every single night, plus all the information, trends you're going to need. And football-wise, don't forget about football. Make sure you're checking out the DFS OGs podcast, Notorious Head Chopper, and myself breaking down the entire NFL slate each and every week. You can find that every Wednesday live at 2:30 or on demand anywhere you get your favorite podcasts. Last thing, FanDuel.com/OG. That's where we have our OGs football tournament single entry buy-in with season-long payouts. Tons of fun over there. Make sure you're checking that out. All the information you need at FanDuel.com/OG. All right, guys, that'll wrap us up here for this week in the Fantasy Bar. Thank you so much for watching. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut, guys. Best of luck in your contest. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist